Good morning, guys. It is Jonathan with One Big Impact. So first of all, if you're new here, check us out on Facebook. Our group is called Healthy Living for a Healthy Life. I will put a link in the description below, and also on Instagram at One Big Impact. Thank you so much, and leaving a quick comment, a like, and subscribing helps immensely. Thank you very much. I do offer meal plans, online training, in-person personal training in Arizona, so message me if you have any questions. Today's video is actually going to be, what is the Atkins diet? So, the Atkins diet gained some popularity in the 90s, but came back in probably like 2014, 2015 and started getting really popular. Don't quote me on those times, that's just when I heard about it. And then when I heard about it again, I'm on the treadmill, so bear with me. The Atkins diet consists of something called ketosis. Ketosis is basically where your body burns fat instead of carbohydrates as fuel. It becomes a ketone burner. You're going to see a lot of things out there in the industry that are like ketones, artificial, they won't say artificial ketones. We can get you in ketosis faster by taking this. It literally takes 2 to 3 days to get into nutritional ketosis. Nutritional meaning not supplement. Just because you have more ketones in your system does not mean your body is burning them. So you can drink a fat burner and then eat in a caloric surplus. If you do that, you're not burning fat. You're just burning calories that are not in a deficit, so you'll never touch them, if that makes sense. So, Atkins has a few different phases. Atkins has induction phase 1, which is most popular, phase 2, 3, 4, and ongoing. Phase 1, in the easiest way to understand it, induction phase is 12 to 15 grams of carbohydrates through foundation vegetables, which means like lettuce, onions, cucumbers, mushrooms, things like that. The macronutrients, by the way, you can go up to 18 to 22 through using other things as a carbohydrate source, meaning there are trace amounts of carbohydrates in eggs, cheese, and things like that. So 12 to 15 through vegetables, pop it up all the way up to 22 if needed through the other things with trace amounts. That does not mean go eat a cookie or anything like that. In all areas of Atkins, you want to stay away from sugar. You're not going to burn fat as fuel if you never get rid of the sugar. So it takes about 3 days to get rid of the sugar. You may go through what they call keto flu. I don't tend to get it. A lot of people do. Basically, you feel like you're sick, but you're not sick. So it's nice. Kind of. Usually after you get past that 3 or 4 day initial period, you're no longer going to be craving carbohydrates. Usually 3 days is the hardest. You're going to be craving sugar. Sugar's like a drug. It's going to be coming out of your system and you're going to want it bad. That explains pretty much phase 1. I'll give you a breakdown real quick on the macros. Don't get too involved with that. If you do need a meal plan, message me. I have 4, 8, and 16-week meal plans. 4 weeks is $45, 8 weeks is $80, 16 weeks is $135. There are no refunds, exchanges, or extra meal plans given. Message me if you need them. Phase 2 is going to be Atkins 40. Basically what it sounds like. 40 grams of net carbs. You're going to be able to add stuff back in like some toast, light fruits, some nuts, and things like that. Phase 3 can be a lot of different things. So phase 3 of Atkins for some people will be 50 to 60 carbs. Some people, it'll be 100 grams of carbs per day. Remember, just because your carbs go up does not mean that you want your calories to increase necessarily. So you're gonna have to make some adjustments. The macro breakdown, by the way, let me stop for a second. By the way, the macros for Atkins induction is gonna be 70, 25, 5. So roughly 70% fat, 25% protein, and 5% carbohydrates. You could do 75, 25, 5, any somewhere around those mix is usually going to put you in the right spot. Now, the second phase is pretty easy compared to the first phase. The first phase is where you're going to see the most results. If in the first phase, if you're trying to lose over 50 pounds, the first phase is a good place to start. If you only have like 5 or 10 pounds to lose, maybe Atkins 100 is perfectly fine. 100 grams of carbohydrates, basically just watching them, and the average American is going to be somewhere between 250 and 400 grams of carbs per day. So you will be somewhat limiting them. If you don't like as much restriction, maybe that's a good option for you to start, and then slowly go down the hill. But a lot of people like that instant gratification. You'll lose a lot more weight a lot faster if you start with induction. The last phase for a lot of people is going to be ongoing weight loss, ongoing way of eating, meaning you're going to find your carbohydrate threshold. That's the part that a lot of people don't do. A lot of people don't find their carbohydrate threshold, and that's a problem because they go from induction to eating 400 grams of carbs a day, which might be fine if you're an Olympic athlete or a 16-year-old kid that was playing sports 3 times a day. But if you're a 40-year-old middle-aged male and you do that, I've made the mistake multiple times, you're just going to gain body fat like crazy. It's kind of like doing a bodybuilding show, getting rid of all your carbohydrates. They don't call it that, but that's what it is. They basically go into Atkins, and then all of a sudden going and eating like trash for 6 months. That's why you see a lot of bodybuilding competitors blow up like crazy. That's what they're doing. So ongoing weight loss is you basically every week you're going to slowly but surely add in carbohydrates, raise them up 5 to 10 grams per week until you start gaining weight. When you do, back it off by 5 or 10 grams and keep it right there. And then usually that's going to give you a pretty good idea of exactly where you're at. I gotta flip my meat because I'm meal prepping. I got a competition in a few days. So I am eating carbohydrates. But I think that pretty much covers every part of every phase. Now, if you have questions, come join our group on Facebook, Healthy Living for a Healthy Life, and feel free to ask. Also, you can direct message me on Instagram at One Big Impact. It's the same name as the channel. If you guys do have questions, guess what? The only dumb question is the one that you asked 5 times, or the one that you never asked at all. So there really isn't a dumb question. We're a group of amazing, positive people. I hope that it covered everything. If it didn't, please feel free to ask. Have a beautiful day. Be stronger than excuses. Remember to spread love, not hate. Drink your damn water. #TeamBoo. And have a beautiful day, guys. Thank you so much.